Hey everyone, this is Brian from Provision Studios, and I'm going to do a quick video today on the Canon VIXIA HF G50. This is kind of like my final thoughts video. I've done a couple videos on this camera uh, this week. I just got it in at the beginning of this week, and I have been using it on several different types of shoots, both inside and outside. I've gotten different results, varying results, I guess is the best way to say it, depending on the settings I've used, the type of shots I've tried to get, and I guess overall, I would have to say that this is a really good camcorder for most people. I could see this being an excellent option. The build quality is excellent. This is not a cheap plastic toy. This is a high quality piece of electronic gear that would be a great addition to any family that is looking to improve on their home videos. This would be a great B camera for any like small studio that is looking to do product videos, do tutorials. This one of the best features, and this is the shame of the situation right now with me and this camera. I've not had an opportunity to use this feature or try this feature out. Is the HDMI out? It's a clean HDMI out right here that allows you to live stream and or record the video out of this camera at full 10-bit, whereas when you record to the SD cards here, it only records an 8-bit. The color space also to SD is 420. Out of the HDMI, it's 422. So you get a 1080p 422 color space 10-bit image out of the HDMI, which that's awesome. So I have not had a chance to try that feature, and that is a point of that's a point against me, because that is an excellent feature, one of the best features that this camera has in it. I have noticed some anomalies in the footage that it has shot off in edges. I've showed it in my previous video. I will have a link to that video right here, right now. That I can't explain. I don't know what's causing it. If I had the ability to use the HDMI port, I could have seen if that was something to do with the fact it's recording to SD card, but I can't disprove that or prove that statement. So I basically I have to write that off to there's things that this camera can't do. One thing that this camera cannot do is perform professionally as a handheld camera. The stabilization is not good enough. This camera has to be on a tripod or a gimbal, and I do not own a gimbal that is big enough to put this on. The gimbal I have, the Zion Crane here, the Crane 3 struggles with this on it. The Zion crane is actually really good for the camera I'm shooting this video with, the Sony FDR AX53. That's actually the perfect size and weight to go on the crane gimbal. So anyway, I don't have a big enough gimbal for this camera, so I wasn't able to get that done. But I do have a tripod here with a fluid head on it, and I was able to get some really good footage with this camera on that tripod. It was later at night. Not later at night. It was later in the day. The sun was setting. It was getting darker, so it wasn't the best footage for a camera of this quality, but it was some of the best footage I shot with this camera in regards to lack of jitter, lack of depth, lack of smoothness. All that stuff was corrected when I put it on that tripod, and it really was some of the best footage I shot in the time I've had this camera. The stabilizer is not the worst thing. I mean, it's I actually got some okay footage this morning with this camera, handheld, and I was pretty much holding it like this, waist high, trying to keep it as steady as I could, and I did get some usable footage with it. So I mean, this is not the worst camera in the world. In manual mode, you can really dial this camera in, which was the reason why I was looking at getting another camera, because I wanted to get a 4K camera that had manual capabilities. The Sony doesn't allow me to do a lot of things. It's a great camera. For instance, I was getting ready to shoot this piece right here, and I wanted to make sure my face detection was on, but I set the white balance. So face detection on this camera is not allowable. You can't have face detection on when you have the auto white balance or the custom white balance set. So I had to turn off the white balance and go to auto white balance in order to enable the face tracking feature with the AX53, which is an excellent feature of this camera. The face tracking, it's phenomenal. So I opted in this case to go with auto white balance and the auto face tracking. So this camera, on the other hand, has full manual capabilities. When I say full, I mean the entire camera is unlocked when you switch it from auto mode to manual mode. You are good to go. The only thing you can't control in manual mode is the ND filters that are built into this camera, and basically anything below f4.0, and it turns on the ND filters. So I have footage of that in that same clip that I'll put it up again here. The ND filter works real good. So that is another plus for this camera. The size of this. This is not a flimsy piece of crap. It looks really good. It is a solidly built camera. So that is another plus for this. This is not going to break down easy. It's heft. It's got heft to it. It's not light in your hands, so when you're out trying to get good stable footage, the camera's weight works with you. to be able to control some of that. Something that's too light, it's like you're holding air. This, you know, you've got something in your hand. So that is a plus for the camera. I do like the lens hood. It does come right off, but I do like it. I think it's a nice addition for this camera. I some of the options for this that I'll be interested to see if I can find it real quick. I don't want to waste anyone's time. I'm glad I looked through this. There was something that I just noticed while I was looking through that did come into play today, as a matter of fact. There's some extra equipment that this comes, that it doesn't come with, that you can get that I didn't get when I got this camera. Optional accessories. Alright, it's not in here. I have to get the PDF, and I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. But basically, there's the larger battery that you can get for this. You can get 2 different lenses to go with this. A telephoto lens and a wide angle lens to go with this camera. There for the mini shoe in the back here. There's a mini shoe right here that receives either a light for this camera or a GPS unit for this camera. They both connect to the mini advanced shoe on the back of the camera here. I'll show you that. It slides down and it's right there. So that's a special shoe for those 2 items, those 2 optional accessories that you can get for this camera. So there are things that you can add to this camera from Canon that are built specifically for this camera that expands upon its capabilities. And I would imagine both the telephoto lens and the wide angle lens that you could add to this only make this better. The one thing that I was looking for those accessories in here, I couldn't find it, but the one item that I did see that I'm glad I looked in there was condensation. This is gonna sound crazy, but I swear to God, I don't lie on any of my videos. I say what I think is true based upon the information I have gathered. And in my experience today, when I was outside with both of these cameras, both the VIXIA HF G50 and then the camera I'm shooting with right now, the Sony FDR-AX53, when I walked outside with both cameras this morning, this camera fogged right up with the condensation that it talks about. And this isn't the first time it's happened. It's happened twice with me when I've tried to go outside to shoot footage with this camera. That did not happen with the Sony. I literally flipped it open and I started recording right away with it, with no time for it to get acclimated to the environment. I don't know why that is. I don't know why the Sony was unaffected to the change in temperatures, where in the Canon was affected by it. I don't know if that's build. I don't know if that's lens coating. Maybe some of you people out there that would watch this video can speak on that, can share your knowledge on why that is. It's the weirdest thing. But that happened, and I have no knowledge as to why that did happen. But it did happen. The touch focus works good on this. You can literally touch the touch screen on what you want to focus in on, and as long as you have adequate light, it will work. The audio, the microphones is really good when you go into manual mode. You have three menu pages of items of things you can adjust with the audio on this camera. To me, that's almost a waste because I don't use on-camera audio. I record my audio separately. But either way, I could see where that would be a huge value for someone because it is so awesome. It does have a shoe on top, so you can use an auxiliary mic. There is the mic port right here to put an external mic on. There's also a headphone jack here. The USB port that's here is for the GPS unit that you would connect to the mini advanced shoe. So the USB port is of no, it serves no purpose other than that. You can't plug it into a computer and move files to and from the device. You actually have to take the SD card out, put it in your computer, access your files that way, and then replace the SD card. Battery life was not bad at all with the battery that came with it. You can buy a larger battery that would work even better. I did use the electronic viewfinder with this camera. It's good. I mean, there's nothing spectacular about it. It works, and I was able to use it. I was able to adjust the focus on underneath to get it real easily sharp to my eyes, and it works. I mean, that's it. You can fold this in if you wear glasses. It's made to fold down, so you can look. You know, if you wear lenses, corrective lenses. I do like the ring here. You can set this for different features. The default is exposure, so you can control your shutter. You can control your iris and your gain, which is ISO. It doesn't have an ISO value. It has a gain amount. So so it's like a decibel of gain. So you can dial a 9 dB of gain, and it'll give you a certain amount of light added to your shot. And that all could be used as a button right here. You push to switch through those three features. And it's real quick and easy to do. You can do it on the fly as you're monitoring your shot on the viewfinder. You can, if you're holding it like this, you can literally do it with one finger. You can adjust, push a button and adjust, push a button and adjust to get the shot the way you want it. So I was happy with that. In manual mode, this camera really does allow you to get the shot you want. I don't know what else to say. It's not a bad camera in auto mode. Even when you put it in auto mode, it is not near the auto mode camera that the Sony is. The Sony FDR AX53. I mean, it is an auto camera. You don't have full control of it. It has the majority of the features of the AX53 are camera controlled. So it's always in auto mode. In auto mode in this camera, it's not the camera that is, and it's really not the camera that this is. This camera comes alive when you put it in manual mode, and it really is it's a good camera. So I guess with the fact that it has a telephoto lens, it has a wide angle lens, it has a larger battery, and it also has the HDMI out feature that I have not used for either live streaming or recording. I intend to use it to record. I want to buy a Atomos Ninja, go out of here into it, and get that 10-bit 422 video off of this. That was my intent from day one. Put this camera in manual mode, get an Atomos Ninja, and use that 10-bit feature. That was why this camera is in my hands, for that. So I can see myself keeping this camera. I can see myself buying at least the Atomos Ninja. It's about $500. And recording that footage and that 10-bit footage onto the Atomos Ninja, and having it and being an upgrade to what I'm presently able to do in the studio. I can see myself buying one of those 2 add-on lenses. I can absolutely see myself buying a couple of those larger batteries. And giving this camera a go. My intentions was to make this my A camera, replacing the Sony HDR FX7, which I've had for a little over a decade now. Having 2 4K cameras in my studio. Not sure that I always shoot in 4K. In fact, I very rarely shoot in 4K. But I like the fact that this camera, and I haven't done any footage yet with it, but I'll do some here in the next couple days. You can do high speed with this. There are many features of this camera that I didn't go into because I wanted to use this the way that I would use it most of the time. The extra features that this has on it that I didn't use yet, I won't use them regularly. So I didn't want to have that be I didn't want that to factor in to what I'm saying in this video right now, because it has anything else this camera does has no bearing on my evaluation of the camera. That is all extra stuff it does that won't affect my decision either way. I guess I'm going to give this camera a go. I guess I'm going to bite the bullet and make my first payment on it at the end of the next month, and go with it like that. There's a chance I may sell off a couple pieces of gear to help pay for this, or to at least help pay for some of the extra, like the Atomos Ninja. I may sell something to buy that. I could justify this camera, and I could feel good about this camera. A couple of the things that I don't know about it that were troubling to me. I don't know that they are going to keep me up at night. Not only that, I've got an AX53 here that I can always fall back on. This camera that I'm shooting this video with is not going anywhere. I don't see myself selling it. I thought about it before I actually saw this camera, but seeing what this camera can do lets me know that I have to keep the 53. So that may not make any sense to anyone, but I would rather have the AX53 to fall back on than only having this, and in 5 or 6 months now wish I still had this camera. I've made that mistake before with gear, not necessarily cameras, but with music gear. I've gotten something, bought something else, and sold the previous piece of gear, and then months later wished I had it. So I like to hold on to stuff for a little bit until I'm absolutely 100% sure that what I've got is what I'm going to use. So again, I can see myself growing with this camera with some of the extra accessories, optional accessories it has, and going with it and seeing what I can do with this, and again, feeling good about it, not feeling like I'm settling for this camera. Feel like this camera can improve, and I can certainly improve. I can improve with this because of the manual features. It's going to push me to be a better videographer. The AX53 is. I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this and have it taken the wrong way. But it's almost a cheat camera. It cheats you into making you think you're better at shooting video than you really are. With this camera, you get out of it what you dial into it. It's a Canon camera, so it's got great color and it's good at what it does. But in the end, when you're in manual mode, if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get shit footage. And you can see some of it over the last couple of days that I've shot that was not good quality. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this. My final thoughts on the Canon VIXIA HF G50. It is a good camera. It's a really good 4K camera. And I will be making more videos, not just with this camera in the next couple of months, but about this camera in the next couple of months. This is not it may be my final thoughts on whether I'm going to keep it or send it back, but it's not my final thoughts on what I think about this camera. I will be continuing to expand upon my opinion, and I'm looking forward to growing with this camera. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section of this video or any of my videos, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Please feel free to email me at bbuck822@gmail.com. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.